Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Star Wars Stuff Podcast. My name is David.
I'm Colin.
Craig 5 standing by.
And this is where we talk all things Star Wars. And today we got a surprise trailer, poster, and 2-episode premiere announcement. But before we get started here, we definitely want to thank our awesome supporters out there. Our top tier Patreon supporters are Darth Ace 1, who we met last weekend at SpaceCon in San Antonio, Lee McCallan, Chris Simpson, Kevin Leininger, Devin McCaffrey, Drew Peters, Zach Netzel, Maya Morris, Makatao Tala, Adam Haber, who hung out with us pretty much all weekend last weekend at SpaceCon San Antonio, Brad Mackey, Front Row King, Darth Beard. Thank you so much for your awesome love and support. We love you. Thank you. And on with the all of our trailer reactions here and what we're thinking about the trailer. I guess I'll start off first. It was a total shock to me. Zach told us in chat that when he spoke to Matt Wood told him a trailer was dropping soon, and it dropped this morning. And it got me hyped. It was fast. It was intense. The song
was good.
Unique. It got me hyped. The last trailer really didn't, but this one kind of did. And you can really see the money on the screen, the money that they put into this. We've all talked about it numerous times that this is the second most expensive TV show in the history of the planet after Rings of Power on Amazon. So
wow,
it looked really good. I'm really interested in it now, more so than ever. Of course,
yeah.
Star Wars, so of course I'll be interested. But yeah, it's got my attention. Colin, what'd you think?
Man, dude, I am everything about the 80s. So the fact that the song that they used was a cover of Major Tom was just awesome. And to me, everything in it just screams the 80s. Like, you definitely feel that vibe to it, and that's exactly how they described it back at Star Wars Celebration in 2023. It was going to have that Amblin Studio type vibe. It was going to feel like the Goonies, E.T., somehow a tiny bit of Stranger Things, like of that type of vibe of show. And that's what we've been really, really asking to do. So I am over the moon, excited for the show. And then also, like, I've said, I don't know if we talked about the podcast, but Teek from the Ewok movies is also gonna be in this, which is interesting and awesome. So yeah, I cannot wait for this show.
Or species, because I think Teek is a species, so I'm not sure, because I had heard that too at first. Are you having audio issues?
Yeah, I went to Star Wars Celebration back in 2015, and somebody gave me like a little Teek toy, and I was like, "What is this?" I mean, I had like deleted it from my mind because I watched all those Ewok movies on VHS when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of par for the course, really. I mean, they're pulling from stuff from the past that we've known. They're also trying to bring in actors that if Star Wars would have continued and George Lucas wouldn't have taken that big hiatus in the 80s and 90s, we would have gotten actors from the 90s and 80s, like Jaleel White. We saw his cameo in there as a pirate. I'm not sure. There's some balloons there, Craig. If you're watching us on video here, we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, as well as Instagram. I need to make sure we're on Instagram there. So, yeah. Interesting trailer. We'll watch it here in a bit, but they also dropped a poster. It says a Star Wars adventure, which is different.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
Yeah, the poster is a little like beat up, a little worn, a little dingy.
Love
you see the crew on bikes at the bottom there. You see the main characters, of course, Jude Law as Jod Nahwood. You see the pirate Brutus, who's played by the Wolfman creature that we saw in the Cantina in the original trilogy there, the Shistavanen. There's another character study next to Jude Law. I'm not quite sure who she. Do you know the character name, Colin?
We saw the trailer today.
Well, yes. So my guess is she's probably a member of the New Republic. That's my guess. We don't have a name for her yet. I've been digging around all morning, but I haven't seen anything yet. If you watch the trailer, I don't think it says her name either. If you watch the subtitles, I could be wrong. We are about to watch it and break it down, so we might see her name when she's speaking. But my guess is she's probably part of the New Republic. In the trailer, you do see more X-wings, so there will be some presence. And I'm calling it right now. Our new favorite version of Coulson in the Star Wars universe will be having some type of cameo. I would be surprised if Carson did not have some type of cameo, just because he's showed up like in almost every single new Star Wars show, except Acolyte and Andor. Those are the shows that he really hasn't showed up in, which makes sense.
He
but
and Boba Fett? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in every Filoni show, pretty much.
Oh, yes, because he was in the Book of Boba Fett, because he was like in that cop scene of where they were pulling over Din Djarin when he was testing out his new ship for the first time.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep. Yeah. So he is heavily involved. So I would be very shocked if he did not have some type of cameo in this, because it just fits his character. But yeah, so excited.
I'm excited about the show, and I hope it gets positive fanfare. You know, everything was so negative from the last show that it would be nice to see people get behind something new that Lucasfilm is trying. You know. Andor started a little bit slow, but it finished really strong. But, you know, really the only thing that's had a lot of following has been Mandalorian so far, you know. So hopefully we get something that gets the fans excited about it. Or maybe dads get their kids interested in Star Wars, you know, with a show like this. You know, Star Wars needs a win.
I think that the show will definitely. I could see it definitely bringing in a new generation of fans. Because with all these other shows that have been coming out, you've got Mando, you've got, you know, that was also supposed to be with Acolyte, but I don't think it did the way that we all wanted it to. I think with Skeleton Crew, I think this is the perfect opportunity to bring in a new generation of fans, just because of, yes, it takes place during the timeline of The Mandalorian, but to me, I don't think you need to know the whole main story of Star Wars. I don't think you need to watch A New Hope all the way through Return of the Jedi or the prequels or anything. I think if you start with this and then there will be mentions here and there, I think it will be like, oh, okay, so there's more out there. Let's go and explore that. And I think that is what the show is going to do. I don't think, and this is something I was telling David right before we started recording, but I don't think the show is going to have the same importance as Ahsoka and Mando and stuff. I think this is going to be its own thing, just happening in the same timeline as The Mandalorian. And I think it's going to be campy. It will be, adventurous. It's going to feel like the Goonies, E.T., like the Amblin Studio vibe. And that's something that a lot of fans have been wanting. I think, having characters like Teak, from like of the Ewok movies and stuff like that, is a fine example of the vibe that they're trying to get with the show. And it's going to feel like you're stepping back in time. I wouldn't even be surprised if there was some type of mention to the Star Wars holiday special, because this is coming out around the holidays in December. If they mention Life Day, that'd be cool. Like maybe we even might see a cameo from Lumpy Mala, or even Chewie's dad, Itchy. So you never know. I could see them doing that, just because if they had Teak, I feel like any other character from Legends, from that kind of category of Star Wars, is really up for grabs. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, just looking at the poster there.
Episodes the season is so far?
8. I believe it's 8 episodes. Yes. Because it goes into the second week of January.
David, are you trying to hide my beautiful face behind this poster?
No, I'm trying to show the people the poster, and I want to talk about it a little bit. Yeah, you see a couple of X-wings there. You see that owl creature. I don't know, and it gives me like kind of like Yoda type vibes. Of course, because I mean, all throughout entertainment, owls have been like the wise creature. And you see the ship on the left hand side. What's the name of the ship again, Colin?
It's the Crimson something. Hang on. Keep talking.
So yeah, you see Smee there, SM-33, voiced by Nick Frost. You see Neil, the Ortolan, who I'm sure Colin's going to have every action figure of. And then you see Wim, who's there, who looks like he's holding an old school walkie-talkie almost.
So the ship is called the Onyx Cinder.
Yes, that's an awesome name.
Yeah,
I just forgot it. Yeah, then you see Fern with the glasses, the futuristic glasses, almost like a Geordie LaForge type setup from Star Trek.
Oh.
And then you see Fern in the front. I think the person, the girl with the glasses is named KB, right?
And what's that owl? It's kind of like an owl looking thing.
That's what I brought up. I don't think anyone knows the name of that creature yet.
No, we don't know. He would like. We actually got a full picture view from the first trailer that actually dropped to the public a couple of months back, but not really in this trailer. I also love that the radio that one of the main characters is holding, just because that radio looks straight out of the 80s. Like, tell me that doesn't, like, it's so good. I also love how like the main shape of the background where like all the characters are in is the shape of the character Smee, which is SM-33, and I love how his like head is like the shape of a skull. Like it's so good, and that's definitely a callback to the Goonies. And then you have like the kind of red lasers like going through, which is probably like a reflection that is supposed to be like a skull for like a skeleton, like
a crossbones.
Yes,
it fits. Like all of it just fits perfectly, and it's so good. It's so good, guys. I am so over the moon about this.
I would really love to see it kind of ride the line of like almost on the verge of being like almost inappropriate, like all the 80s films in the past where where they rode that line of PG-13 and like
yeah.
But I mean, it feels like it feels like it's aimed towards kids, but of course you have Jude Law there as his interesting name, Jod Nawood. I kind of broke that down a little bit on a previous podcast, but let's watch the trailer, guys, and let's kind of comment on it. We can kind of go through it frame by frame here. So let me bring it up on the screen here, if I can find it. Yeah, it's this one right here. All right, so yeah, we're essentially in the principal's office. That's where we start off.
What are you in for?
And again, this song that they're using is a cover of the song Major Tom, and they've just changed the lyrics to like some type of alien. It could be hot teas, anything, but like it's great.
What do you think it is? Don't touch anything.
So of this scene right here of where they're taking off and where they press the button to launch, I think the ship was upside down and then it flips over and takes off. Like of that space shot alone is just so good.
Come on, kid. Pay up.
Some cool looking creatures.
Find an old
Yep.
Republic credit. Over here, quick. I'll get you home. We'll make a partnership.
And I also don't think that Jude Law's character is I don't think he is a Jedi. I know it's hinted at it, but I think he's just like a con artist.
So you don't think he has any force abilities at all?
I don't think so.
I'm getting some K2SO vibes from Smee.
You just
Yeah.
need to find them.
We're not alone down here.
Ah, so good.
The booby traps.
All of these planets look so good.
Mountains where none dare to go.
If you hear this, don't give up. No matter what.
Yeah. All right. Let us break it down scene by scene now. All right. All right. So this is kind of like that, that classic like stuff of where like the kids are doing something that they're not supposed to, and they get sent to the principal's office, and they feel like their lives are not adventurous as it could be, which kind of throws back to when Luke, was a kid on Tatooine and all he wanted to do was like leave. So I love they're kind of throwing themselves kind of back into that mode, and but we still don't know that much about the ship, except that for a while there, it was rumored it could be, from the Old Republic, it could be from the High Republic, but I think the ship is, from maybe earlier during the Galactic Civil War, just because of they do have old Imperial credits. So, all right, let's fast forward.
I wonder if they pulled that device that Wim is holding from like some 80s, like old school. Maybe they like kit bashed like an Atari 600 or something.
Dude,
It's kind of familiar. Or like a cassette recorder or something.
I guarantee you they probably did, because of they end up like having a lot of prop like of actual items and stuff like from the 80s, from back in the day, and then they just add like something into it to make it seem like Star Wars. So
yeah,
I would not be surprised if they ended up doing that.
Yeah, we already saw this scene before where they're riding on the swoop bike and has a sidecar. So I think that's KB and Fern. KB has the glasses.
What are you in for? I found something buried in the woods.
I don't know, what is he in for? Getting dirty?
Unacceptable. You don't understand.
Probably for being late for school.
Yeah. They tagged Spider-Man on there. So yeah, Chris Ford and John Watts did the Homecoming trilogy, and it specifically shows No Way Home on the screen there.
Yep.
And The Mandalorian.
What do you think it is?
I like how Neil picks up his ear there.
I love Neil, and it's not confirmed that Neil is a Hordelin like Max Rebo, but I like to think that he is. And I know that my friend Stephanie, if you're watching, I hope you're wrong. Even though you keep telling me that it's not, because she knows stuff, but I'm just saying, I hope you're wrong. I really hope.
Oh, she said she actually knows stuff.
I mean, potentially. Like, she was saying it in a joking way, but I was just like, yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
and of course, it's only on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But it looks like a movie, man. It's pretty high grade quality here.
Yeah.
And that is KB.
We're lost. Really lost.
And let's keep in mind that these kids shot this like 3 years ago. So these kids might look drastically different now on the red carpet.
Yeah, they're like slowly, because of that's what happened with the Harry Potter movies. That's also what's happened recently with the new Peter Jackson. Not Peter Jackson, Percy Jackson. With that show, because if you compare from like the first season of where he's like, my name's Percy Jackson, and then you jump from like the teaser that happened like a couple of months ago, he's like, hi, my name is Percy Jackson, and you're like, wow. So yeah, that's
funny.
probably what's gonna happen if they end up doing a season 2.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that Smee was already on the ship, and he just kind of got activated once they got aboard there.
Yep.
And yeah, some interesting creatures that we've never seen on this like space station, this way station that they actually end up at when they go into hyperspace. And they're all speaking basic though, which I don't know. To me, I don't like. I wish they were just speaking in some different alien language. We got subtitles, but
Come on, kid. Pay up. Whoa.
it gives it that like weird kind of like more kiddie type feel to me.
Yeah.
And he has Old Republic credits, which the bar patrons are kind of astounded by.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I guess that alludes to the fact that maybe that ship is really old. I mean,
Yeah.
I
and
was
this guy
thinking that.
looks, yeah, and this guy looks like kind of like a crustacean. And yeah, this is a little bit of
I think that's a
cantina
really
style.
unique
Find an
creature
Old
right
Republic
there.
Credit.
Yeah,
I'm so
This-
excited for all of the new aliens, man.
yeah, this like horse guy with the 6 eyes.
Yeah.
Guy just straight up burns them.
Over here.
Go, Neil, go.
I'll get you.
And there's a shot of Jadna Nawood's gun, his blaster.
Get you home. We'll make a partnership.
And yeah, he seems like he just like took advantage of the situation and is taking advantage of these kids. He's really like a escapee.
I need you to take the controls.
Okay. Neil? Neil?
Yeah. So yeah, Neil shouldn't take the controls here. We see him dip in and out. Maybe.
I don't care. Let that kid fly. Let's go.
Yeah. It looks like the surface of the moon, our moon. It's kind of wild. But yeah,
That's so good.
maybe he becomes an awesome pilot. So yeah, on December 3rd, we're gonna get 2 episodes premiering on Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
so good.
And we'll be there to do a pre-show, post-show, break
Yep.
it all down.
So good, guys.
Gonna be exciting.
Yeah,
New
I hope they
Star
stick to the
Wars.
7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
I
Drop
am
time.
I'm already getting goosebumps. Like I'm like, oh man. I didn't feel this way about Acolyte. I was excited, but probably not on this scale.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
So here's the crew here. So we see Jaleel White in the front. We see a guy
Yep.
that looks like Dr. Evazan. And that person with the white skin, with the white hair. I mean, who do you think that is, Colin?
She actually looks like a familiar actress. I can't put my like name on it.
So did the dad, too, at the very beginning. I've seen him in
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's pirates there that jump in, do this portal.
Did you guys play the Uncharted games at all or no?
Not really.
So yeah, so Jude Law's character seems very and I don't know why, but the plot from Uncharted seems very familiar here too, because it seems like it seems like his character is a con artist. He is pretending to be something that he's not to get what he wants, and that is a very common like kind of trope in these types of films. And like films and this type of genre. So I could see him being that type of character. And there's a lot of similar characters like that and in Uncharted and Goonies and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, in the shot we see an Ishi Tib there, and I think all the way in the back there's Brutus, the Wolfman guy.
Dude, he looks fire, man. He's got like 2 blaster pistols like on his like holsters on his hips. And then he has 3 blaster pistols like going across his like satchel, like on his chest. Like that man is ready. Also, this looks like they're right in the middle of like a battle.
Yeah.
If I'm mistaken. Yeah, because there's one, I can't tell if the one character wearing the helmet is a main character or not. But dang, yeah, this. The
show helmet looks like straight out of World War II, an American helmet.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. Everyone's like locked and loaded here.
I can't tell the symbol on the helmet either.
Yeah.
So what do we
But-
think? Do we have any idea what the main plot of this show is going to be yet? Like these kids get lost in space, but what the ship just takes them somewhere and they can't figure out how to get home?
Essentially, yeah. So IMDb states 4 kids make a mysterious discovery on their home planet that leads them to get lost in a strange and dangerous galaxy. So yeah, it's essentially a Lost in Space tale. They're trying to get back home, essentially. And they encounter all these creatures. They encounter Jude Law's character. I love how there's a creature stuck in the eye that doesn't work for Smee here. I like that touch.
Something's wrong.
They're not not going to just turn up. We need to find them.
We're not alone down here.
Oh my gosh, let's go.
So yeah, I got Borgullet vibes, but I don't think this is Borgullet. Maybe a distant cousin.
Yeah.
And if you look closely here, if you study the head and like the side tentacles, you see a reprisal of this character. Maybe this character is like sentient and maybe they communicate with it. Or maybe this is kind of like part of the whole MacGuffin part of this story.
This planet looks gnarly. Gosh, there is. I mean, as much as I love going back to Tatooine, and I don't know how much my wife was going back to Tatooine, I think that that this is also going to be a great way of staying in Star Wars, but exploring more of like of what is in Star Wars, which is this giant galaxy. So I'm so glad that we're going to so many new planets. This planet looks awesome. That yacht looks sick. I love the new public cruisers flying around. We don't know where this is. I don't think we really know any of the new planets yet. So I'm excited to explore more of that. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I love the X-Wings, man. The classic X-Wings flying around.
So good.
And you see a
sword.
Yeah, a sword.
Oh my gosh.
Actual
And
pirate adventure.
booby traps. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, booby traps, astronauts, droids.
If you hear this,
Yes.
Yeah,
So
these kids are in the thick of it.
no.
we don't know who
Yeah,
that
this is
character
what I was
is.
referring to. That alien creature looks similar to this like giant skull.
Yep.
I don't know.
Because
And I'm pretty sure
I
there's so
mean,
many Easter eggs here.
you can also tell from like the kind of tentacle things coming out the side is the same thing. And again, like it's a skull. It kind of, I mean, from this angle, like it kind of looks like the aliens. Well, the interdimensional beings from Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. Like, if you see the shape, like, do you see how it kind of looks like long going in the back? Like, I don't know. It just reminds me.
Well, we're
a lot
looking
of
at
that.
it from the front. I mean, we have no idea
Yeah.
how far it goes. So
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's
I mean, I'm just hoping for an Indiana Jones Easter egg. I mean, I guess that's just me, but yeah, no.
yeah, the
it
carvings
looks
in the
so good.
wall feels very, very like that one game show that was like something like with a hidden temple or whatever.
Yeah,
But, yeah, I mean, this all ties back to the 80s, our nostalgia, all the stuff that's like been stacked away in the back of our heads about these movies. Unless you saw them recently. I mean, like, yeah, Indiana Jones, Goonies.
No matter what.
So yeah, they're all amazed. So Dude
So
Law's
good.
back in the back there. Maybe this
Yeah.
was his end game. Maybe he was trying to use these kids to get to this room to get all this treasure.
But would they really
That
show
is
it
my
in the
suspicion.
trailer? You know, it seems kind of crazy.
I mean, they got to show something, you know. I mean,
do you remember? So from David,
Yeah.
from the trailer that we saw in London, do you remember him carrying a lightsaber?
no.
No. Oh, okay. I don't know
Not
why.
at all.
I just thought I remember him carrying a lightsaber. But from that trailer that came out to the public, he does use the Force. But we have seen Force manipulation before, because in Obi-Wan there was that one scene of where I'm gonna mispronounce the actors and characters' names, so I'm not going to try. But he has like the magnets like on his hands.
Oh yeah,
to-
Kumail Nanjiani's character.
Yes. So
Yeah, I already forgot his character name.
we have seen that type of stuff before. I could see him doing that to gain trust of these kids. I mean, you know, if you were lost and you met someone saying, "Hey, I'm a Jedi," and you have heard the legends of what the Jedi were and all that stuff, I think the first thing a kid would do would be like, "Hey, you know what? I believe you." So I could see him doing that trope, and then halfway through the show, he's like, "Guys, I'm not really a Jedi. I just wanted this treasure, and I needed your ship to go and get there." So that's probably like the plot to it. Which again, that kind of goes back to like a lot of these different plots from the same type of genre of where someone is pretending to be something else to get what they want. So I could see his character doing that.
Yeah, so if you go to IMDb, it does state 8 episodes is the max amount of episodes some of these actors are in. Jude Law, 8 episodes. Fern, 8 episodes. Tunde, who plays the dad at the beginning, he's in 8 episodes. Interesting, though, that Dane D'Aligro, who I ran into, crazily enough, at Fantastic Fest and Rebel Scum Con, he's only in 1 episode. He's like a 7-foot tall guy. So I'm kind of wondering who he's actually playing.
He could play a Wookiee. I'm just saying the average height of a Wookiee is 7 foot. So
yeah.
No.
So yeah, it looks like 8 episodes is going to bleed into next year.
Is it a limited, like, 1 season show? Because it said season 1 on something, and I was like, oh, is it going to be multiple
Yeah,
seasons?
I think no matter what, it's always going to say season 1. I think that's what they're doing. They've been doing that for the past few years. But I mean, like I said, though, this thing was shot like 3-4 years ago. These kids are not going to look the same if they want to do a sequel. I mean, it's almost going to have to be like it's like a Stranger Things scenario where they look like adults the next time we see them.
Yeah,
So,
they are slowly running out of time.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like this could be a major hit, and then Lucasfilm is going to have that whole conundrum of like, okay, so what do we do now? Do we put them more into the future and have them as like teens, older teens, young adults? I think that'd be cool. I mean, I don't think we've really seen something like that, but yeah, this trailer definitely did get me hyped. We're going to get a 2-episode premiere December 3rd, so I'm happy about it. It looks good.
I'm excited.
No.
And, this seems like a show that I can watch with my daughter. She's 6.5 now. So, it seems like, it'd probably still be a little young for her, but I think she'll enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we know who's doing the score yet?
I think we do. I think that was already announced.
Okay.
But I don't have that information in front of me.
You know what would make me really happy?
A month. We're looking at a month away.
Yeah. What would make me really happy is if John Williams like made the main theme or did something, because if he's done something for Rogue One, he's done something for Solo, Obi-Wan. It'd be really cool if he ended up doing something like for Skeleton Crew, just to bring back to that vibe of things feeling classic, like of just having that John Williams score would just be super, super cool. But yeah, oh man, guys, I am over the moon for this. Sign me up. Like, let's go. Please let this month pass by. I'm so excited for this.
What do you guys think before I have to head out? Do you think this is going to get a positive fanfare, or do you think it's going to get that negativity that like Acolyte received even before it came out?
I think it's going to be positive. I think the difference between Acolyte and with Skeleton Crew is that we know not to. I mean, I hope people know that this is not going to be on the same level of importance as these other shows like Mando and Ahsoka. This one is taking place in the Star Wars universe. We're just having fun with it. We're like, it's meant to be that. And I hope no one takes it like on a very serious level. Because if you have that mindset going into the show, then you're not going to like it. So I really hope that that people are, going in with that mindset of being like, it is supposed to be like a fun, goofy, adventurous show that probably should have came out during the 80s. Like, that's what people should be expecting going in. With Acolyte, people were going in with a mindset of being like, this is going to be a very important show. It is supposed to be a prequel to the entire trilogy. I mean, not trilogy, to the entire Star Wars saga. And that show was meant to be important. With a show, it is not. So like to the scale of the newer stuff that we have been having, where it's been like, Taking Back Mandalore, Ahsoka and Sabine going out and finding Ezra. It's not going to be on that level, and I just hope people realize that before going in.
I don't think I necessarily agree with everything Colin's saying. I think
Interesting.
this is going to connect a lot. I think this is right in that Favloni sweet spot of the Mandalorian, and you got Vane in there from Salad the Hutt's crew flying
Salad
in. But
Love that guy.
I mean, it's going to be more removed, even more so than the Acolyte, because we're not expecting light side, dark side stuff to go on, where we have like a bunch of kids that get lost in space. But we are kind of expecting, Jude Law's character to do like Force stuff and possibly lightsaber stuff. But this is as far removed as we've gotten so far. So that might have that goodwill going for it. But I think there's a lot of potential here. But just the unfortunate thing is, man, they shot this so long ago that it's going to be hard to do a direct sequel. There's going to have to be a passage of time, which might work in their favor. I don't know. But then, of course, they spent so much money on this. I mean, they're not going to be able to blame that if the show doesn't work, because they had all the resources to make the show as good as it possibly could be. But see, Lucasfilm believed in it. They truly believed in the story, and they greenlit it a long time ago. And we're going to get what we get, and it's going to be a holiday show. And we're going to get an episode. I think episode 5 will be the week of Christmas, like a couple days before Christmas Eve. So, I mean, there's a lot of characters, a lot of practical effects. It looks like a fun ride, and there's not a lot of expectations on this one, like Acolyte had.
Before I have to go in a sec here, but it would be nice to see action figures on the shelf. If this was produced years ago, why can't Hasbro be ready to have some stuff for kids to play with at Christmas?
They probably will, because I think some of the Black Series are like all made and everything. I think we'll probably be getting them by the beginning of December or the end of November, like around Black Friday.
Jude Law character was available the other day on Amazon, but they should have a 5-pack or whatever with the kids, just the kids.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know, get kids, because I'm so frustrated with the lack of figures and toys ready for kids to be available when these shows and movies come out. You know, it really makes a big difference with kids wanting to play with stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind all that. I don't know if they didn't have faith, or was there like a backlog? I know to get like a HasLab figure, it takes them like a year to create and then ship. So I don't know what it is. Maybe the shortage, maybe like the blockchain issues that were happening before. Who knows? But yeah, they did announce, like Colin said, the Black Series. They're out there. We have pictures. So I would expect, Christmas time. I mean, that's the great time to have the figures out for Christmas. So
that's what I'm saying.
You can also get some of the characters in Funko, because they do have Neil as a Funko Pop already.
And I think there's a Smee as well, right?
Yeah, but I mean, come on, dude, it's Neil. I mean,
I don't know. Smee could be Smee, not Smeal. I combine the two names. Smee could steal the show, man. I mean, he's voiced by Nick Frost.
I think
he looks pretty cool.
His droid looks awesome. That uppercut punch that he did in the trailer was like, oh, okay, all right, man. So,
I mean, he's gonna be like the tank and like their bodyguard. It feels like.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I do have to cut out. I got to get some work done. I got to do something for work. But it was great to see you guys, and I'm excited about the show, and be happy to be on the show, on the podcast, when we, start, get episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Great to see you again, Craig.
All right, buddy.
See you later.
Soon.
Bye.